execute you now.
Hey man, welcome to Auggieevision, man. Appreciate you coming into the gig. I am your host, the big Augie Uno. You know what I'm saying? And this is my first show, man. So we gonna keep it light, but we gonna make it funky. So, today in Augie News, you know what I mean? I know it's an older topic, but I ain't gonna let it's been getting juicy. We're gonna talk about the ICE shootings. They shooting people out here, you know what I'm saying? It didn't really get crazy until they shot, you know what I'm saying, the Bisco lady. And, shit went crazy. But they forgot about Keith Porter Jr., who on that same day was accosted and unalived by these same entities that, that's federally funded. And think about that part. You know what I mean? I'm just going to put little clues. We ain't going to get all political. We just going to, something for us to think about. But, the craziest part about that whole thing, though, was, you got the George Floyds, you got the Sandras, you got, it's so many people that I could just keep naming. It's going to get redundant. But the names that that have been unalived by forces that were basically, stepping a little bit out of bounds, i.e., the white supremacist, soldiers, i.e., in the form of they might have a badge on, or the new threat to immigrants, the ICE agents. And just like, you never know who the ICE agent is. Your boy Don Lemon is in some shit by running up talking about uncovering ICE agents. So they, these cats is like, behind the joints. I ain't gonna lie. KKK. Who else is behind hoods and masks? In droves. So we gonna keep it right there. You know what I mean? But we ain't gonna touch on nothing like that. In the comments, we can touch on everything. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna just give you a little small synopsis of the Auggieevision news. You know what I mean? So, my thing was the lopsided outrage. You know what I'm saying? When we get put down, FBAs or people with melanin, it's no big deal. They figure out, well, someone figures out. I ain't gonna say they, because, other than you is they. Other than we is them. But they figure out a way to minimize the melanated unaliving. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be politically correct, but this is gonna go off the rails here soon. But I'm coming in right. So at least you can say that. But anyway, yeah, it's just a black life. But I thought all lives matter. You know what I mean? We forgot about them slogans. But now we in a spot to where, yeah, the people that they coming in to get the illegals, the miscreants, the scammers. They doing, to me, they doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, if you here and you supposed to be here and you done everything you supposed to do, I mean, hey man, enjoy the American dream. But don't homogenize. That's the best. Don't colonize and homogenize. It's the best uh, advice I can give to anybody that what I'm saying maybe not of FBA lineage and of this land. You know what I mean? And have to worry about possibly, what I'm saying, being excommunicated to your original soils. You know what I mean? Which I don't know, man. I thought everybody liked I thought everybody was proud for where they come from. Because in America, people delineate themselves and say, oh man, I ain't black. I'm Dominican. I'm Nigerian. I'm anything Jamaican. I'm anything but, the blood, sweat, and tears that had to endure everything that people was, benefiting from because they look like us. And then, but that ain't enough nowadays. You see, the delineation movement. Delineation means when you separate yourself, what I'm saying, and you get into your own little, your own little pocket, your enclave, if you will. But that's neither here nor there. We, Google it. But what's real crazy is, yeah, man, when the victims are not us, it's a real big fervor. It's still going on. CNN talking about it. Every, Bisco pundit is still talking about, well, why? And now, really, what I'm saying? Because the president and the vice president, oh, yeah, they threw her under the bus first day. You know what I mean? But then again, as the stuff comes out, and we don't know what's really true and false, but because we wasn't there. All we can do is just go on, what people were saying, eyewitnesses and things like that. You know what I mean? But as it's coming out that, it was a clash of the alphabet people. That's all I can really say. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. Clash of the alphabet people. And it has nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. We just watching the show. But, which is crazy about that is, as we watch the show, we got still more internal issues. Now, all this information is older, within a week or two, but as you get to thinking about it, let's think about where this all going. So right in that same week, you got the Doechii, Aiden Ross, Glasses Malone little thing. I was gonna spend my original joint, spend a little bit more time on that, but I'm gonna just cut to the chase. Bottom line is, we are separated in America. I mean, whether cats want to put the mask on and say, oh, no, I'm over half a century and I've never seen the Kumbaya. I'm going to put it to you like that. So let's not act like that is some real You know what I mean? So let's call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Let's say what it is. And, let's hurt a couple feelings. If there's any feelings to be involved with, what is. You know what I mean? Because the truth and facts don't really got no feelings. So we're going to deal in that, and we're going to deal in that sector. So, we got the thing of it is you got this guy that's not from our culture, that's not even melanated, that's really disrespecting, one of our, one of our sisters. Now, mind you, she has said some real controversial things against us as melanated people and Black men. You know what I'm saying? She has her proclivities and she said things. But that does not excuse a visitor to come in and have an unabashed opinion about things that really ain't your business. Because, we don't talk about when the school shootings come, we don't delve into that. When the Biscos go wild, berserk, and get to, churches and grocery stores, just one day I'm just going to get up, kiss the Confederate flag, and just go berserk on anybody that I feel that doesn't belong in the country that I stole type mentality. I'm just saying. Stop me when I start lying. And once again, I can't wait to hear what the comments say. Because I'm open to all comments, negative, positive, because anything I'm saying, I can stand doing it. No matter who you are. Yeah. Yeah, no matter who you are, who you think your station is in life, we can talk about it. My vocabulary is, sufficient to get on any level you want to get on. And I have, and if you know me, you know that. But anyway, let's get back to that. So that brings me down to the arrogance of certain people, groups, and the acceptance of certain people and groups. You know what I'm saying? Because, the hot topic today is the N-word and all that stuff. But I'm going to keep it funky with you. As you looking at these TikTok videos and you seeing that's going real bad, that freedom of speech, saying what you want to say to people who, who really don't want you to say that, is going bad on both sides. I heard a melanated cat, he wanted to just go into an establishment, a den of biscos and start some shit. He got lumped up. They stomped him out. He was one guy. Yeah, he just thought he was, he thought it was Ken Norton. But you see in Mandingo, but you see what happened, at the end of that one. They boiled him. You know what I'm saying? Leave them folks alone like we want them to leave us alone unless we gonna be sociable. But that goes back to, what it is when it is what it is. See, I'm trying to talk in veiled language, for those who understand, only to say this because if you get to talking direct, then, you get accused of having certain ideologies that you may or may not have, but at least you're trying to voice them in a way that is open for dialogue. And it's not pointing fingers. Because, when you point a finger, it's 3 pointing back. So, you got to deal with them 3 blowbacks before you blow off. Ha! Pause. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that takes me to saying what you feel in 2026. To my non-melanated people and to my people that might be melanated to feel that they're not melanated, don't get it twisted. That's my message. Because you got to understand, man, America is old. And the people like me, old black dudes, shit, you know what I'm saying? We come by a standard that's unshakable. Unshakable. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what they told you when you came here or what they hipped you on to, but whoever hipped you on got hipped on by the originals, which is us. Whoever told you to stay away from some shit and it was about your people, they probably ain't stay. Hey, man. All the disrespect, you know what I'm saying? You wanna dress like us. All the slang you use, everything that people are saying now is trying to sound cool, is the culture, is this thing that you trying to talk against. That's the ghetto and all. But, when you say, we're going to keep it real. Yeah, we said that. That was the ghetto shit. When you say, oh, man, it's lit. Yeah, that was, nobody that was non-melanated made that up. Nobody that was melanated that follow or worship non-melanated people and look at us as some anomaly that's just, I guess, products of slavery and things. You know the story. Yeah, but let's keep it funky. Everybody on the planet wants this aura that we exude. Be proud of your aura, but keep it righteous. Keep it righteous. Keep it funky. Like Grandpa's feet, as my nigga ODB would say. You know what I'm saying? And just know that everything you saying has a consequences. And as a consequence. And normalizing non-indigenous people or non-cultural people to yell the N-word in your little enclaves and chilling, I wouldn't suggest it. Because it's some things going on, man. Let's keep it funky. It's things going on, and it can get real spooky. You know what I mean? As my man M. Rec would say. It can get spooky for you. Talking about, well, everybody up. Yeah, man. See, but that reminds me of the early hip-hop parties. See, anybody could go, but is you going to go home safe? No, because if you're a lame ball, you're going to be a victim. If you just chilling, you're going to be chilling. If you a predator, it's prey there. But if you just going there for a good time and you ain't on no extra, it's countless people that, just chill. Be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Be one of them dudes or chicks. But then that takes me, segues to the nerve of these people to think that, just because you under the spell of the Bisco and you think that you can't get, there'll be no reparations for FBAs. There'll be, we'll never come up out of this thumb, even though we created all that stuff. Time is ticking. And either you own, hey, man. Delineation movement is in effect. Peace to Tariq Nasheed and all the FBAs. I had to say that. But that wasn't really the joint. You know what I mean? Because the joint is, we're going to talk about the agents of chaos. Now, what I really want to talk about is what just happened with this Corey Holcomb and the Anton Daniels joint. If you look at that real closely, that was some boule versus boots on the ground. And of course, the boule, they got egg on their face because the boots on the ground cats, once we take the gloves off, everything is fair. You know what I mean? In real life, if you tell a black man the SMD, it's a brawl. Anybody invite cats to the game piece, man, it's a brawl. That's just a man shit. Ain't nothing politically correct about that. He told the dude, you out here kissing ass. Everybody uses that term. Man, you out here kissing ass. You kiss your boss's ass. Oh, you kiss your girl's ass. Niggas say that all the time. But never is the retort is, well, you out here S&Ds. Dude was severely out of pocket. And to be from Detroit and to say that, he know better. And that whole move, yeah, man. Go watch that and you will see. But once again, that's the clash. That's the clash of the cultures. That's, these boule cats versus the people on the ground, like us. You know what I mean? Cats get a certain position, a little bit of bread, and then now they want to sympathize with certain shit that when they was broke, they wouldn't stand for. Or they want to speak in a manner to where they're being passive aggressive, but when it's met with straight aggression and clarity, now they sitting back on their toes talking about grabbing their pearls, talking about my stars and garters. Yeah, watch out for these type of people, man. In real life, in your life, just watch. They walking around. You just ain't listen to them. You just ain't paying them no attention. There's some suckers out here. You know what I'm saying? So my advice is say what you mean what you say, and stand on that. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. Because people gonna say what they say, but everybody got their own agendas. But and I'm gonna go to the next topic, which is motherfuckers in their second childhood. The nerve of these ninjas, man. I'm just saying. Now that took me to another older story, which, 50 Cent is into it with Jim Jones. But this is all these cats is like our age, my age at least. You know what I'm saying? But y'all arguing like young boys. I ain't gonna lie, 50 is cracking on cats. But these older cats is getting their feelings because they can't get the young people to follow some bullshit that they on trying to be young. What happened to the older people was guiding the young people? You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to check the young guys, you know what I mean? Young guys and girls when they was slipping a move. Because it's only gonna make you better when you become an adult, and you have to do the same thing, each one teach one. But look at the society, and the young people going crazy. But one thing I'm gonna say, who raised you, in the words of T.K. Kirkland? Kids don't raise themselves. They need guidance. They need mentors. And after so long, when you develop your own brain, then you're looking at the world like, well, ain't nobody taught me thus far, so I'm going to teach myself. Until it's a master teacher that come across, and, then you get yourself right. But, God don't look over babies and fools. That's why, the Father Allah, Master 13, Clarence 13X, he created the 5%, and he took all the science and wisdom that the Nation of Islam was doing into the streets. You don't have to wear a bow tie, but if you knew what you was talking about, you could see the world differently. And that's what the real thing is. You know what I mean? But once again, everything gets tainted. Because, and peace to the gods and the earth. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the gods and the earth. You know what I'm saying? The 5% nation. But we got to clean up. We got to clean up our joints, man. Too many people is infiltrating the knowledge and ain't standing on the principles and the values. They getting the slang, but yet misusing it. Now everybody looking at it like, but nobody's in solidarity. That's why I appreciate everybody that is rocking with Auggieevision, rocking with ME, Mental Elements, Mental Entertainment, rocking with Occult Vlogs. Peace to the Auggieevision. Peace to my man Temu at Temu 1080. Peace to my man. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a word from our sponsor.
Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash.
Liquid fucks.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Once again, that's my man's behind the all day. Yeah. So all this dope shit you gonna see, that's all ME. Powered by ME, the Academy. Piece it straight to the, you know what I'm saying, straight to the top. You know what I'm saying? The Matador. Steve Weaveland. Augie McNoggy, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? One of the only ME Academy graduates that is real on their real shit. Peace to my man Rock Nasty. We finna do the chronology of the Mental Saga from day one. He's one of the original 4. Yeah. So we got some stuff coming, man. This is just the first little gigoid. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I wanna, I wanna thank everybody, man. I wanna thank everybody that, has been supporting me thus far. You know, death to the whack niggas and the broads. Peace to the righteous and the Auggies in the gigoid. Biscos, hey man, we can either live in unison or we gotta bash out. Yeah, it's over with, man. It's a wrap. We back. You see? Yeah, originally gone was just, yeah, the guards is back. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie, man. I just wanted to holler at y'all cats real quick. Peace to the Augie family. If y'all got some topics y'all want to talk about, put them in my comments. We're gonna talk about everything. I'm gonna do a live too. Tell me what y'all do. What's the best time for me to go live? I'm gonna go live either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Let me know when y'all wanna hear me talk my shit. Cause I got more shit to talk about. Cause we ain't get to the whack MCs and the death of hip hop as it is right now. You know, motherfuckers faking it to make it. Yeah, we ain't get to that shit yet. But that's on the next one. Coming real fast for you. Once again, the big Augie, man. ME. Augie. And I'm the referee. I throw flags on all you bums. Peace.